sign our petition. Basically, we're trying to gather signatures for the release of a Tibetan writer who wrote about what he saw in his local village, which was basically Chinese military police forces coming into the village. And when he wrote about it and put it on a blog, he went missing for several months. And then after he went missing, he was basically taken by the Chinese police, they then sentenced him to 3 years in prison. And so he's serving a 3-year sentence, and we're trying to release him. And we, just so you know, that when you put your details, you won't be put onto a mailing list or anything unless you want to. Hi, my name is Pema Yoko. I'm from Students for a Free Tibet, and I'm out here in Brooklyn for MCA Day, celebrating Adam Yauch's life and the Beastie Boys, because Adam Yauch was a steadfast supporter for Tibet. He and the Beastie Boys really were able to bring the Tibetan Freedom movement out of obscurity and into the international spotlight. Because really, before the Freedom concerts, not many people really knew about Tibet or the situation of Tibet or even the Dalai Lama. So really, the Freedom concerts was a big change maker for the Tibetan Freedom movement, and it's something that I, as a young Tibetan, will never forget. And I think many Tibetans will not forget the work of Adam Yauch for the Tibetan Freedom cause. Through education, grassroots organizing, nonviolent direct action, we are campaigning for the Tibetan people's fundamental right for political freedom. And really, the current situation inside Tibet right now, from the days of the Freedom concert to now, the situation's gone really from bad to worse. Because over the last few years, over 144 Tibetans from all walks of life inside Tibet, monks, nuns, teachers, respected community leaders, teenagers, essentially children, have burnt their bodies on fire in protest of China's rule. The repression inside Tibet is so suffocating that there is no political dissent in Tibet. Tibetans can't even say free Tibet or long live the Dalai Lama without being arrested, imprisoned or tortured. And recently, actually, a well-known think tank, Freedom House, put out a report this year ranking Tibet as the second least free country in the world. And that's behind Syria. And also what that means is, or what that shows, is that there is less freedom in Tibet than countries like China and North Korea. And of course you can never measure oppression, but it just gives you the understanding of what the current situation is like inside Tibet. And despite the suffocating repression, I think Tibetans inside Tibet have never given up. They've remained resilient in their rights for freedom and human rights in Tibet, and they're finding new ways and innovative ways through strategic non-violence to gain back their freedom. But they need our support, they need their allies. So really that's why Students for a Free Tibet exist, and that's why we're here today. And we're really grateful for spaces like this, for spaces like MCA Day that make sure that Tibet is being heard on the platform, because these spaces are actually shrinking. China is investing billions of money into silencing the Tibetan voice, not making sure that Tibet is not heard or seen. Wherever His Holiness travels around the world, they make sure that they pressure the governments to make sure that the leaders do not meet with the Dalai Lama, or His Holiness is not able to speak at universities. And even like with chapters, university chapters, where they have small tables like we're having here, a small table at universities, these spaces at universities are also being shut down. And this is something that we are battling with right now, and it's very important that we're able to save these spaces, especially in the free country, in a free world. So that's the situation in Tibet right now. Please join the movement, please join the Students for a Free Tibet or any other Tibetan organization out there, because Tibet needs you now. And together we can make change and bring meaningful policy change to Tibet.